Okay, we're going to measure a Mack M Ride, which is very similar to the Volvo T Ride. Just identifying the points of what we need to measure. BF here in the front, middle of the bolt, up by the bolt head to ground. BB, back of the plate where the bolt goes through, middle of the bolt to ground. Your Y is going to be your right behind the bolt head to the back of the bracket. Your AY is center line of the axle to the front of the bolt head itself. And then your E is the leftover threads, and then B is the bolt length itself from the head to the end of the bolt. Let's start with BF. Measuring the front of the bolt head to the bottom or to the ground. And then the BB, middle of the bolt, back of the bracket to ground. After that, we can measure the Y, back of the bracket, middle of the bolt to the bottom of the bolt head. And then your AY is center line of the axle to the bolt head. And then B, overall bolt length from the bottom of the head to the end of the bolt. And then your E is your leftover threads. All right, now we're going to measure your air can, which is your J, which is the middle of the brake can to the ground. So we'll go ahead and just measure the J. To the bottom of the ground. Even though this is a disc brake type setup, still give us a measurement with the J. Now we're going to measure the Z measurement, which is the two bolts that hold the bushing on the torque rod to the plate. We want to measure middle of the bolt to middle of the bolt, or as a tech tip, you can measure outside to an inside, or inside to the outside of the bolt as well. It gives you your same distance and measurement. Let's measure your Z. We're going to go inside of the outboard bolt to the outside of the inside bolt. And then now with the C measurement, we're going to measure the C, your outboard bolt, middle of the bolt with a plumb bob. We're going to drop it down, and then you can measure into the distance of your sidewall of the tire. And then record your measurements.